Hi, Aletha here with Create Your Future. Just let you know that Create Your Future is giving away a free course right now. How to find your block to manifest anything fast. The link is in the description box below. Also, I am having a sale on all of my courses, $20 off each course. My courses are why it's okay to manifest a specific person who is in a relationship with someone else and how to do that. Also, manifesting exactly what you desire, foolproof, get your SP back, manifesting anything with an age or a relationship, with an age gap, anti-aging and law assumption, and turning back your biological clock. The very last one, the key to manifesting anything your heart desires quickly. So all of those courses are on sale for $20 off right now, and they are valuable as you go through the process of achieving your goals, manifesting the things that your heart desires. I also have one-on-one coaching. The sale is 50% off of all of my coaching. It's a good time to schedule and book coaching sessions with me. A good time for us to meet and actually have a one-on-one coaching session to work with you and help you through your manifesting process and helping you achieve your goals. Okay, so now what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about laying the foundation for changing your future. Every one of us has something in our lives that we want to be different, that we want to experience in a different way or not experience at all. And so we're going to talk about how to do that via Neville Goddard's explanation of that. Okay, so he gives us a 1, 2, 3 mapped out process for literally changing your current reality to something else in the future, whatever that would be, whatever you desire. So he tells us that number one, we need to define exactly what we want. Know exactly what you want. If you want to be with a specific person, define the characteristics of that person, define the type of relationship you want with that person, and define who you are in that relationship and how you relate. What is your self-concept being in that relationship with that person? And you can do that with everything. You have a career that you want. Define what the career is, how you want it to proceed, what are the elements of that career, who are you in that, what is your self-concept, how would you think, feel, and be if you were that person. You do that with everything, your health, finances, family, friends, whatever it is that your heart is desiring. You can have, be, and do anything you want, but you need to define exactly what that is, and you need to understand that you're not only writing a new version of maybe another person or the situation, but you're also writing a new version of you, because you will relate differently in that version than you do now in this one. Are you now relating and living from a place of lack in some areas of your life? You will not be doing that over here in your desired scenario, your desired parallel reality, because you have moved in to being a whole new version according to whatever it is that your heart's desiring for that situation or whatever it is that you want. So think in those terms, and when you write it out, do a paragraph of like, who am I? What am I? Who am I talking to? Who am I with? And what is that other person if I'm interacting with another person, or it's a special person, a specific person? Define them, and then define the kind of relationship you want, define the kind of career you want, define the kind of finances you want, define the kind of life you want to live, define the kind of health you want, whatever it may be. So then that was number one, define exactly what you want. Write a small paragraph about that. Number two, construct an event that you believe expresses or implies that you already have it, that it is yours, that it's fulfilled. And then once you have designed some kind of imaginal scene or scenario, as I call them, once you've done that, that something from the end of already having your wish fulfilled. A simple example would be you want a specific person into your life and you want to marry that person, so you would create a 5 to 7 second imaginal scene of you and your SP celebrating a 1-year wedding anniversary. And It was only 5 to 7 seconds long, but it's implying that you've been married for a whole year, happily, blissfully, exclusively, whatever it is your heart is desiring. And you can do that with everything. Your health, it doesn't have to be 1 year. With your health, it can be any amount of time you want. You don't even have to specify the time. You could just see yourself for your health. I've done this with allergies, just riding my bike freely without having any asthma and breathing easily. And one day, that's exactly what happened. And I didn't put a specific time limit on it. I just imagined over and over riding my bicycle and enjoying that and breathing easily and just having a fabulous time doing that. And one day, and I didn't even realize it till I had been riding for a little while, and I said, oh my gosh, I'm breathing beautifully, easily, effortlessly, and my legs are working well. I mean, the whole thing is perfect. So anyway, so you can do that, but you don't have to specify a specific time. Nonetheless, you do need to remember when you construct an imaginal scene that you're doing it from the first person. You are the first person. You're not sitting back watching a movie on the stage on a big screen. No, you are you're in it. It's you looking out of your eyes, seeing and relating and being a part of that scene. It's first person. Very important. And that whatever that is, it's from the end of having whatever it is you want. If you want to be a famous singer, you see yourself in some venue that says, I've made it. And I'm this, amazing vocalist, singer, or whatever it is. And you see yourself doing it and achieving it with perfection. Okay, so you have to decide what it is you want. And then you have to ask yourself, well, how would I feel if I had that? Well, when I was riding my bike and imagining that, I felt gloriously wonderful and happy and breathing easily. And so you can do that. I've done that to repair my eyes so that I imagined that my eye doctor told me when I went to my eye appointment that my eyes were perfect health. Had improved, And so I actually go to the appointment. I imagined that like 2 days before. I just saw him sitting there. I'm sitting there and he's standing over me with a clipboard and he's looking down at it and he said, you know what? Your eyes have actually improved, because he's so used to having to up people's prescriptions, but no, mine had improved and he decreased everything, and when I didn't even need anything at all. So that did that only 2 days before, just imagining that he would say that to me and how I would feel when I left the place, walking out to my car in the parking lot, like, jumping up and down, internally happy. And I didn't realize that my manifestation had totally been manifested, or my desire had been actually manifested. It hadn't really hit me yet. I mean, it was wonderful that I was so relieved that the doctor told me that. But then when I got out in the parking lot and I felt how joyfully I was walking through the parking lot, and I saw the imaginal scene was exactly the same as me walking from the office out to my car, and I realized I was replaying that scene, and obviously, and he had told me what I had wanted to hear, what I had imagined I would hear. So you need to go, so you don't have to be, and I really didn't put a lot of effort into it. I imagined it maybe twice, and I looped it over and over, both of those. I didn't fixate on it anymore after that. I trusted that it was complete, especially the eye appointment. That was very important to me, and I just trusted that that it would happen, because I'm the ultimate power, right? Okay, so you have to believe that you find something that you know that you're expressing, or that's implying that you have what your heart's desiring already, and then feel how that would feel. Write that down. How would it feel? What would I be thinking? Who would I be talking to? What would I be saying? Who am I in that state of being? All right, now, number 3. He says to do this then, immobilize your body and get into that drowsy state. You can do this any time of day, but a lot of people talk about SATs when you go to bed at night and before you fall asleep, which is great and wonderful, and you can do that, and then you wake up in the morning while you're still in that drowsy state, kind of conscious and unconscious, like the alpha place, then do it, do your imaginal scene then. And if throughout the day, if you have time to sit down and just close your eyes and be still for a couple of minutes and feel drowsy, go over it a couple of times. You may fall asleep. He even says in the book that I was reading, a 10-minute nap is sufficient. And if you don't fall asleep, that's okay too. Get up and go about your day. What's so important though is when you do get up and go about your day, whether obviously when you fall asleep at night, you're gonna sleep all night long. And I've heard another practitioner say that it marinates. Your desire is marinating all night long because you fell asleep in that state of being, and that's marinating within you, and then will be pushed out and obviously reflected back. But when you get up in the morning afterwards, you go about your day, and or during the day if you have time to do it, to imagine, to sit down and mobilize your body and get to the state of drowsiness. When you do that, when you're finished and you get up, you simply stay on a strong mental diet that supports the imaginal scene. You cannot have an imaginal scene where you're seeing yourself, like for me, I'm seeing myself in my imaginal scene for improved eyesight, but get up, go about my day, and constantly be worrying about, oh my gosh, what if my eyes have gotten really, really bad? Or what if I got some terrible illness in my eyes? I don't know what goes on with eyes. What if I have this or what I have that? And I had someone in my family constantly talking to me about the things that were not well with their eyes. And so did I focus on that? No. As a matter of fact, I tried very hard to stay away from that, because why? I wanted to stay in the place that I knew I had perfect eyesight, or the eyesight that improved eyesight's what I worked towards. And so that's what happened. You have to support it with your mental diet. You have to support that. And I knew I'd ride the bicycle someday, breathing easily. I knew that. I didn't go down the path like, I'll never be able to ride my bike again because of allergies. No, I know I would. And that's what you have to know. You have to know you will. And that your imaginal scene will be projected out of you and then reflected back, but it must be supported by your mental diet, by your inner conversation. You cannot say, I have my SP back internally. I know I have him. I know I have him. I know that we're a couple. I know that we're married now. And then be checking 3D all the time and getting all upset about 3D or constantly thinking, I know he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's not interested. He needs time. That's so contrary to what you're imagining. You're imagining that he's already madly in love with you, or she is. It could be the other one. Your SP is madly in love with you, wanting you, needing you, consumed by you, obsessed with you in a very good, positive way. And that's what your imaginal scene is. So you need to be affirming that with your inner conversations and catching yourself when you're not, and then flipping it over to what you do want. Say, oh no, I acknowledge your negative thought, but I don't live from there anymore. That's the old story. My new story is this, and I am this, and this is where I live from, okay? So that's how you do that, and stay in that. But the two have to be married together. They have to be together. If you have an imaginal scene, you have to support it with intentions and affirmations and mental diet, inner conversations that are in alignment with what you're imagining. And let's see, play it out. It's only 5 to 7 seconds. You can loop this imaginal scene over and over till it feels natural. And then you'll know when you can get up or fall asleep, whichever happens, or whatever situation you're in. So that's pretty much it. You just need to define exactly what you want, and define, all the elements of it, like how you would act, and who your self-concept is, what are you in that version, who are you in that version, who is your SP in that version, and that it's a parallel reality, and you're shifting into it. So who are you in that parallel reality? It already exists. Creation is finished. It is yours. It's finished. It is yours. It's calling to you. It's a promise. You have a desire. It's a promise that is fulfilled. The only thing you need to do for it to manifest into your 3D reality is to give it your conscious focus, your conscious attention, your awareness. Whatever I am aware of, that's what I become. Whatever I am conscious of being, that's what I am. And the way that actually goes is I am whatever I am conscious of being. So if you have a pain and you're consciously thinking about it, and it keeps getting worse and you're really uncomfortable and frightened about it, or just upset about it, and then something happens and you've got to give all your attention to that, later you're like, oh my gosh, the pain is gone. Why? You took your attention off of it, it shifted into health, which is what you've been desiring, and we're focused on something else. So it's where we put our attention. That's what manifests into our lives. So one of the things that Neville Goddard says is to immerse yourself in your vision. Immerse yourself in your imaginal scene. Become it. He even says fall in love with it. And let it be the stronger story in you than the old. And soon you take your attention off of the old story, the old 3D, all the things that you're not desiring that are showing up currently from past thoughts. They're only reflections of past thoughts. It is not real. It's an illusion. Take your attention from the illusions, stuff that's not real, put it on what you're imagining internally right now, because that's what's real. And it will be projected out of you and become your new 3D. How do you think what's showing up in your life got to be in your life? You focused on it in the now. It was thought you had, a feeling you had, assumptions you had. You're imagining. When we think about stuff, we're imagining. We're seeing pictures, we're seeing images, we're imagining conversations, how we're gonna fix something, or how we're gonna tell someone off, or we're gonna stand up for our rights. We're imagining. When you're doing that, you're creating. You are selecting. Creation's finished. You're really selecting a reality, because you're an infinite being, and you have you're multidimensional, and you have infinite number of realities of you, of dimensions of you. So you're selecting one. And when you select that, it will be pushed out and it will be reflected back. So select what you want to experience. You want wealth, live from a state of abundance. You want love, live from a state of having love. You want health, live from a state of being perfect health. You want to, people talk about anti-aging, live from a state of feeling young and beautiful and vibrant. So whatever we are focused on manifests into our lives. Focus on what you want, immerse yourself in that, fall in love with that. Let that be your greatest story, and it will become your 3D. It will manifest, it will become your reality. All right, so just to go through it one more time, define exactly what you want, then construct an imaginal scene that is implying that you already have it. Think about how that would feel, what you would say and do, and who you are in that scene, who your special person is in that scene, how people interact with you in that scene, what you're doing. It's all from the end of already having it. And then you mobilize your body, sit down and imagine it. 5 to 7 seconds is not very long. Create a scene that's only 5 to 7 seconds long. Imagine it. For people that say they can't imagine very well, they see nothing, think about it, and think about it. If you want to script it, the same thing will work. Scripting is fine. But you can think about it. You think about everything else. You're still pushing out your thoughts. So think about it. Immerse yourself in thinking about the new story that you want to create into your life. It's already created that you want to select to manifest into your life, okay? And do that. And remember to do it in the first person. I am. And I heard someone else say not long ago, and I've known this, but I just loved hearing it again, and a kind of refresher. I am. Whatever you put behind I am is a very powerful word. I am happy. One of the things that they said was, people say, I am sick right now, I have this or that. So what are they doing? They're prescribing their future. They are predicting their future. I am sick. In the moment you're saying I am sick, your future will relay that back to you. It will reflect that back to you. Instead, you don't feel well, I am healthy. I always have perfect health. I am healthy. Whatever. Okay, so think in those terms, and remember that everything must be supported with your mental diet. Every imaginal scene has to be supported with your inner conversation. Has to be in alignment. They have to be in alignment, because if you don't, it's going to cancel them out. And then you're going to wonder, well, why is nothing happening? It's because you're not supporting it with your inner conversations. You have to support it with your inner conversations, and it takes a mental, concerted effort to discipline your mind, who tends to be very wayward, to think and feel. When you think the thoughts, they produce your feelings. To think the things that your heart's desiring only. Immerse yourself in those thoughts. Fall in love with those thoughts. And deny the senses. Deny the 3D world. No matter what's showing up, just keep telling yourself it's an illusion. It's not real. And this is real. And this is who I am now. And before long, you will see it show up. And you can simply say things like, the other night I intended something for the next day with regards to my work, and guess what? Everything I intended happened, and in the most amazing ways and unexpected ways that I didn't give it. And that's the other thing. Do not decide how you're going to get to the end. That's not your job. Just see yourself there. Do not figure out or try to figure out how you'll get there. You'll never figure it out. The universe has the most wonderful way of doing things. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. But you don't need to worry about that. And that takes a lot of pressure off. You just see yourself being in the end of having whatever it is you want and feeling those feelings and knowing that it will show up in its own special way. And you don't have to figure out how. And it was interesting how it all worked out yesterday. And again, it was something I would never have guessed. I didn't even try. I just decided this is what I want. And it happened, and I stuck with that. Every time I get a negative thought, no, this is what I choose. I'm choosing this. This is who I am. And you have to do that. We're human, so when you mess up, there's really no messing up, because if you do have a negative thought and you sort of fall into it for a little tiny bit, all you have to do is not beat yourself up, not get discouraged and quit. No, persist in the new idea, because you're persisting one way or the other. You're either persisting in the old story or the new story. So choose to persist in so if you do have a moment where you fall into, or you spiral down into the 3D and have some negative thoughts, it's okay. Just change them back to what you want. It's okay. And don't labor over that. Just know, now I've changed it, because I create in the moment. Okay? Nothing is set in stone that way, unless you persist in it. In the moment, I will persist only in what I desire to manifest into my life. Define exactly what you want, construct an event that implies you already have it, feel those feelings, immobilize your body, and imagine what it is for 5 to 7 seconds. Feel it and imagine it and loop it over and over and over till it feels very natural. Fall asleep if you want, or get up and go about your day. And then all the time, have a strong mental diet, inner conversations that are in alignment with what it is your heart's desiring, and you will manifest successfully everything and anything your heart desires. Blessings.